Okay, so before y'all judge me, I just need you to understand one thing. I really, truly thought I was in love. Like Taylor Swift writing lyrics in her notebook love. I was convinced that Jason, yes, that's his real name because I'm done protecting clowns, was the one. We met in sophomore year during a group project that he absolutely did not help with, but somehow still managed to flirt his way into my DMs and my heart. I should have known. The group project was the first red flag. Fast forward a year and a half later, and boom, we're living together, playing house. We'd just moved into this tiny, overpriced apartment that smelled like old lasagna and forgotten dreams. But I was so excited. I even made a Pinterest board titled Our First Place and saved about 37 candle shelf ideas I would never afford. Anyway, life was cute. At first, we had this little routine. I made dinner because if left to Jason, we'd be eating frozen corn dogs and Pop-Tarts. And he'd do the dishes. Keyword, would. That lasted like a week. Then one day, I come home from class, and the sink's looking like the aftermath of a food fight at a daycare. I say, "Babe, what's going on in here?" And he hits me with, "I was gonna do it after my match." His match, in case you're wondering, was Call of Duty. Jason, ladies and gentlemen, thought dish soap was optional, but owned a $200 gaming headset with lights that change colors. Now, I know what you're thinking. Girl, why didn't you run? And the answer is, I don't know. Love makes you stupid. Or maybe it was the smell of his cologne. Or the way he said yo and squinted when he was trying to sound deep. Whatever. The point is, I stayed. Then came the fridge. Y'all, this man would open the fridge, stare into it like it owed him money, and then yell, "We don't have any food." Meanwhile, it was packed with groceries. Like, what do you mean we don't have food, Jason? There's chicken, rice, vegetables, leftovers. What is missing, sir? You know what he meant? He meant there were no frozen burritos and no snack cakes. That's what he called real food. So one day I'm like, okay, let's be adults. Let's make a grocery budget and start a joint savings account. He's like, bet. And I'm thinking growth, communication, teamwork. We go to the bank, we open the account, and I even got one of those little budgeting apps to track expenses. I was on my Suze Orman vibes, feeling financially responsible and whatnot. Jason, he looked proud too, which should have been my second red flag. Because Jason being proud about saving money is like a raccoon being proud about using a trash can. The first few weeks go fine. We split grocery bills, put in $100 each payday, and I was feeling like I finally had my life together. I'd walk into Target and put stuff back on the shelf. Growth, discipline, queen behavior. But slowly, things started getting weird. First, I noticed he was always too tired to check the budget with me on Sundays, which was our little ritual. Then, he started getting extra clingy around my phone. Like side-eyeing me when I opened apps or checked my notifications. I thought, okay, maybe he's just being goofy. Then, I started noticing things around the apartment changing. A brand new controller showed up one day. Black, shiny, definitely not the one he always raged with and threw on the couch. I asked him, "Babe, did you get a new controller?" And this man said, "Brace yourself." "Oh, nah, that's my cousin's. He left it here." Excuse me? Your cousin just casually leaves a $70 controller and forgets about it? What is this? A tech donation center? Then the packages started coming. Not big ones, little ones. Amazon envelopes, box from Best Buy, a mystery package with just his name on it. I'd ask what was in it, and he'd say, just cables. Babe, why do you need that many cables? Are you starting a LAN party in our bathroom? It was giving sus, but I was still in love, still dumb, still spiraling in denial, until the weekend. The weekend deserves its own horror movie title, honestly. So we'd planned this cute staycation thing, just me and him, no phones, just chill vibes and Netflix. I'd been looking forward to it for weeks. I come home Friday night, and he's all smiley, jittery, even. Now, this could have been sweet, except Jason's surprises usually meant he bought me Sour Patch Kids and called it a gift. He says, I got us a surprise. And there, sitting on the TV stand like it paid rent, was a brand new, shiny PS5. But no, this time, he covers my eyes, walks me into the living room, and yells, ta-da! I blinked. I tilted my head like a confused dog. I said, wait, is that yours? He grinned like a kid who just pooped glitter. Yep. Ain't she beautiful? And right there, something in my soul twitched. Not because he bought it, but because I knew. I just didn't have the proof yet. Let me just start by saying, I'm not the jealous type. I'm not the girl who checks phones, stalks exes, or gets mad if you like some random girl's beach pic. But when I saw that PS5, something in me snapped. Not jealousy, not anger, just pure, undiluted confusion. Because I knew Jason didn't have the money. Let me paint the financial picture here. This man once Venmo requested me $437 because he accidentally paid for both coffees. This is the same man who bought knockoff AirPods called AirDots and told me they sounded the same. So when I saw that pristine $500 PS5s sitting in our living room like it belonged in a museum, you know, my spidey senses tingled. But I didn't say anything. Yet, I smiled, nodded, said, wow, it's so sleek. Like I was admiring a race car instead of the beginning of the end. Then I went to the bathroom, locked the door, and opened the budgeting app on my phone. Now, here's the thing. I didn't expect to find anything. I just wanted to feel better, reassure myself that I was being dramatic, and Jason had gotten it from a cousin, a raffle, a wizard. I don't know. Anything but what I feared. I opened the app, scroll, pause, and there it was, a withdrawal from our joint savings for exactly $547.19. Labeled BBY Online, Best Buy, dated 3 days ago. Y'all. I stared at that line item like it was a jump scare in a horror movie. I sat there on the edge of the tub, blinking at my screen, mouth wide open like a cartoon character. My heart was in my throat, my stomach in my feet. I thought, no, there's gotta be a mistake. So I went into full Sherlock Holmes mode. I checked our shared Gmail where we sent receipts and bills. Nothing from Best Buy. Checked my email. Nothing. Then I remembered something. Jason is dumb. He never clears his tabs. So while he was in the kitchen unboxing his controller like it was Christmas morning, I said, hey babe, I'm gonna go grab your laptop. I want to order dinner. He goes, cool. Completely unaware, he just handed a Gemini woman a loaded weapon. I power it on, open Chrome, and y'all, the tabs I'm talking open cart at Best Buy. Shipping confirmation from 3 days ago. Tracking number, receipt with his name and our address. And just for flavor, a YouTube video titled, How to Set Up Your PS5 Like a Pro. I sat there, laptop glowing in my lap, teeth clenched, feeling like I'd just been slapped by karma. Because not only had he used our joint savings without asking me, he had the audacity to gift himself the console like it was a reward for breathing. Now I had options. Option A, go full reality TV meltdown and scream at him right then and there. Option B, play it cool, gather more evidence, and destroy him with quiet, calculated facts. Option C, eat snacks and cry. I chose option B, with a little sprinkle of option C. So that night, I acted normal. I let him play. I even clapped when he went around fake giggling like a supportive girlfriend from a cringy 90s rom-com. Meanwhile, in my brain, full criminal mastermind. I took screenshots, forwarded emails to myself, made a spreadsheet. Yes, a spreadsheet. I wasn't just angry, I was organized. Then came Sunday, our budget meeting day. I set the table, lit a candle, made pancakes, really set the vibe. Jason sat down, all sleepy-eyed and clueless. I pulled out my laptop, opened the budget app, and smiled sweetly. Hey babe, I said, wanna go over our expenses this week? He blinked, paused. Sure? I opened the transactions tab, scrolled to the withdrawal, turned the screen. His eyes locked on it like it was a crime scene. Then I said, with all the calm rage of a woman about to snap, "What's this?" He shifted, cleared his throat, scratched his head. All the classic guilty moves. "Oh," he said, "that? Yeah, I meant to tell you about that." "You meant to?" "Yeah. I was gonna bring it up. I just forgot." Y'all, he forgot. Like he misplaced his keys or something. Not spent $1,000 of our money without even a text. "Jason," I said, eyebrows raised, "did you use our joint savings to buy that PS5? He looked at me like I'd asked if he slept with my sister. No. I used my own money. I swear." "Really?" I said. "So why does it say withdrawal from joint account?" Okay, he said, holding up his hands. "Technically, yes, but I was gonna pay it back. Like, next paycheck." "Next paycheck?" "Yeah. I figured, like, what's the big deal? We both live here. We both benefit." I blinked. "Do I look like I benefit from Call of Duty, Jason?" And he said, "I kid you not. You can play too, babe." Play. Too. Like I was gonna throw on a headset and start yelling into a mic while getting virtually shot by 12-year-olds from Ohio. At that moment, I didn't know whether to laugh, scream, or dropkick him into 2026. So I said nothing, just closed the laptop, and got up. Because this wasn't just about a PS5. It was about respect. It was about trust. It was about the fact that this man used our future to fund his hobby and then thought offering me a controller would make it okay. Jason didn't just break the bank. He broke the relationship. After I closed the laptop and left Jason sitting at that sticky kitchen table, I did what any emotionally overwhelmed woman with Wi-Fi and a petty streak would do. I called my best friend, Mia. Now, if you don't have a Mia in your life, I'm so sorry. Mia is 5'2", of rage, loyalty, and unfiltered opinions. I didn't even say hello. I just said he used the joint savings. and she gasped so loud, I think I heard her cat hiss in the background. Oh my God, are you still in the apartment? Girl, do not let him gaslight you. Take the console, sell it. Buy a flight to Costa Rica. I'll help you pack. And honestly, that didn't sound half bad, but I wasn't there yet. I needed to sit with it first. Let the betrayal marinate like bad shrimp. So I curled up on the couch, blanket over my head like a dramatic Victorian ghost, and just thought about everything. I thought about how we started with late-night ramen and dollar movie dates and ended with joint accounts and broken trust. I thought about how many times I let things slide. The dishes, the laziness, the emotional immaturity. I called it chill, when really, I was just scared to rock the boat. But turns out the boat was already sinking, and Jason was poking holes in the bottom with his fancy new controller. The next morning, I was still stewing in my hoodie cocoon when Jason tried to do a damage control. He brought me coffee, cold, obviously, sat next to me, and said, "Babe, can we talk?" Oh, now he wanted to talk. I let him speak. I sat there, arms crossed, coffee untouched. He launched into this whole monologue about how stressed he's been, how video games are his therapy, how he just wanted one thing for himself. "I thought you'd understand," he said, looking at me like I was the one who robbed him. "Understand what exactly?" I asked. "That I needed an outlet." "An outlet?" I said, slowly. "Jason, you needed an outlet? You could have gone on a walk, read a book, talked to me. You didn't need to spend our savings like you were a contestant on Supermarket Sweep." But I was gonna pay it back. I cut him off. "The problem isn't even the money, Jason. It's that you didn't ask. You made a decision that affected both of us without even mentioning it. You knew it was wrong. That's why you hid it." He went quiet. For the first time in a long time, he didn't have a snarky comeback or lame excuse. And me? I suddenly felt very calm. It was that weird kind of calm you feel when you've cried it out, screamed into your pillow, and eaten 3 servings of cereal at 2 a.m. It was the calm of clarity. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "I think we're done here." He blinked. "Wait, what? Done? Like, done? "Yeah," I said, standing up. "Done like your player 2 just logged off?" He followed me around the apartment like a confused puppy while I packed a duffel bag, saying things like, "It was just a mistake," and "You're blowing this out of proportion." But here's the thing about trust. Once it's cracked, it never looks the same again. You can try to glue it back together, but the fracture lines always show. So I zipped up my bag, grabbed my charger, and turned to him one last time. "You can keep the console," I said, "but I'm taking my piece." And then I left. Mic drop. I crashed at Mia's for a while after that. She made me margaritas and let me scream into decorative pillows. We even held a tiny freedom party where we lit a candle and symbolically unfollowed him on every platform. A week later, I officially took my name off the joint account. I also went back to Target and bought myself something I'd been eyeing for months: a cozy weighted blanket. Paid with my money, guilt-free. As for Jason, I heard through the grapevine that the PS5 started overheating. Karma really said, "Let me turn up the heat, babe." Looking back, I don't regret any of it. Not the moving in, not the budgeting apps, not even the heartbreak. Because sometimes you need to go through a little emotional financial fraud to realize your worth. And now I'm thriving, single, glowing, emotionally secure. And every time I walk past a gaming aisle, I smirk just a little. So if you ever find yourself with a man who says, "Babe, let's open a joint account," just make sure you also open a backup plan. Because if he'll sneak your money for a PS5, who knows what else he's willing to do? And me? I learned that love isn't measured in shared subscriptions or split grocery bills. It's measured in respect, and you can't download that.